Hey, what is up guys? Guitar Rock here, welcome back to another Brown Dust video. Alright, so we're gonna check out the 3 new mercenaries that are introduced today in the patch. Not sure when I will, edit this video. Probably you guys will see this one day later. But the 3 new 3 stars mercenary. Alright, so what are they all about? So we're gonna explore, have a look at them. Starting off with Thalos. I'm not sure why am I pronouncing it that way, but it should be Thalos, right? Thalos, whichever way you pronounce, I guess it's correct. So yeah, let's have a look. What is this guy all about? So he reminds me of Lydia a little bit. So Lydia is the 3 star, right? So at least Lydia has illustration, and she actually uses a spear as well. So similar weapons. We're gonna compare both of them because, why not, right? So this is what they have: base stats, 257 attack, 856 HP. Alright, so very similar to Lydia. 249, 998. 15% crit rate, 50% crit damage. So Lydia has more crit damage, but I am aware that Lydia's skill is different. She basically deals additional damage to warriors. Whereas for Thalos, alright, so what's this guy all about? So stats weakening, reduces enemies defense, and there's this skill right here, deals additional damage based on the skill type applied to the enemy. So number of enemies reflective counter skill type times enemy's current HP times 40% additional damage. That is insane. Alright, so this is like, if I'm not mistaken, is exactly like Barbara's skill. So Thalos is a mini Barbara in every sense possible. How about this stats weakening immunity? 2 turns before normal attack. Why not just give him a permanent one? Is it too broken for novice or something? Why is it only 2 turns? Explain. Can someone explain this to me? Why is it only 2 turns? Come on. Like, I thought like we have a good candidate right here to counter a lot of the meta heroes, but 2 turns stats weakening. Alright, so 2 turn stats weakening means that this guy is probably not gonna be that good in novice because Marons are everywhere. Alright, so if you have played novice before, Maron is one of the most used hell counter, and Maron does have stats weakening, so directly counter this guy. So is this guy a mini Barbara, or is he like a worse, straight up worse version? Enemy's current HP. I believe Barbara's one is based off enemy's max HP, but I could be wrong. Let's check it out. Where's Barbara? Alright. This skill. Enemy's current HP. Alright, so makes sense. Barbara has 50%. I think Barbara's one goes up along with the skill level. So how about Thalos's one? Will this go up as well? Okay, so basically every single skill level increases the reduction in defense, and then enemy's current HP, alright, goes up even more, 50% defense. Wait, this is after normal attack. Okay, that's a bummer. Alright, so 60%, 70, 70 and then 100, 90. Why not make it 100? Like what? Why do you stop at 90? That's such a bummer. Like, just make it 100%. Is it too broken? 90%? Alright, so Thalos is gonna be an interesting one. I can see him fit in some teams. Definitely because Hell has reflective counter, Acha has reflective counter, Nayus has reflective counter. These 3 is probably going to be the most meta units in terms of 4 stars. So Thalos is going to be able to, I believe he's going to be able to deal insane damage to them. It's going to boil down to how much crit damage you can pump into him. So ideally for this kind of skill, especially something like Barbara, if you guys are not familiar with how Barbara's skills work, you want to give rage runes. That would be the most ideal scenario. For me, I'm using Barbara in the co-op raid hard Patan. So 2 rage runes and then just use supporters to boost the crit rate. But for Thalos right here, 15% crit rate, he might need a fatal. He might actually need a fatal and a rage. Both of those to pair together if you want to have decent results in the novice, but yeah, it's going to be hard to use him, but yeah, definitely going to be plenty of teams going to run him. Okay, so let's move on to the next candidate. Who else do we have? The defender. I know there's a defender going on. Horan. Okay, another 3-star unit with no illustration. Explain why no illustration. What is happening? Alright, so decent HP, 1.3k, 20% agility, really appreciate it. 1.3k HP. Let's see, in terms of, we're going to compare with Mercedes. 1.4k. Okay, so she has 0% defense, but 20% agility, while Mercedes has like 10% defense. But I think Horan is going to be more of a run replacement. So let's have a look. What is she all about? Reflective counter, counter attacks with additional damage. Alright, so we were just talking about Thalos just now, and now we have Horan. So is Thalos a direct counter to Horan right here? Because she has the reflective counter skill. After normal attack, it turns. Okay, so this reminds me of Hell a lot. Exactly like Hell's one. 75%, 100%, 100. Wait, what? It turns 12 turns. 12 turns, 150%. Alright, so edgy before battle times 100% boost attack. Reduces incoming damage. Okay. Damage reduction, that's going to be very helpful. Ideally, it depends what supporter could she work with. I'm thinking of Clarice right here, because if you use her, what runes should you go for? Because not sure if you want to go shield runes. She doesn't have. It's either you go vital or you go assault. Like based on what I'm seeing, her HP is kind of low if you want to be able to kill one-shot units with this reflective counter. Attack plus 30%. So I have a feeling going assault, maybe one assault and one vital would be the suboptimal choice. Of course, we have to confirm that in a couple of testings, but ideally, on first glimpse, that's what I think would work on her. And Clarice would be a good unit to combo, to pair with her. Let's see. Heals, heals, plus 10. Edgy before battle times 100% boost attack. And 150% reduction in incoming damage. So Clarice is going to help out right there, because Clarice has even more reduction. But edgy before battle times 150% reduce incoming damage. That is going to help a lot, especially if you have edgy substat. So by default, she already have 30%, reduces in incoming damage, because 20% agility times 150%, you get 30% reduction in incoming damage. So alongside with a couple more stacks that you can stack up with, maybe Clarice or a few other supporters. I can't think of who else. Elijah, maybe. I don't know. Like, why would anyone use her? Anais, does Anais have it? I can't even remember. But she's a taunt, 10 turns, greatly appreciated. I'm definitely going to build her. She looks like a fun one to play around with. Thalos, I'm not too sure. Maybe I'll just get one up to 4 stars and I'll just leave it there. I doubt I'll be like going ham all investment into 6 stars and things like that. But Horan, on the other hand, maybe a little bit different. Alright, so she looks like an interesting one for sure. Yeah, I think she's going to replace Mercedes or Ron in certain cases for some teams. We'll see. Definitely can't wait to see her in the novice scene. Okay, so the last one we have Jayden. Oh, look at this husbando right here. Alright, so what is this guy all about? Look at that HP. Look at that. 2000 HP. That is the highest HP I've seen on any, like, even a 3-star tank. Like, if I were to compare, it's insane. So ideally, if you awaken him, maybe you will get him to around 5 stars. Something around along these lines, right? 4.4k HP. That is insane. Alright, so what's this skill all about? Titan Strike deals additional damage to enemy. Okay, I really like this concept. This is something that we don't see in 5 stars at all, like, which is unfortunate, right? I like Velter a lot. Velter has an exact similar skill. Where is Velter? I just have to talk about Velter for a bit. So he has this skill, Titan Strike, deals additional damage to the enemy. Alright, he has this skill, it's really strong, it goes up to 40%. The problem is when you have this skill and you are a mage. Okay, so this skill, Titan Strike, max HP times percentage of additional damage, you can crit with this skill. You can definitely crit with this skill. But Velter, decent crit damage. It's just that when you build him, you have to use him with 2 vital runes or else it won't work. But ideally, if you want to, you can build him in terms of like a semi-tank, semi-assault. But he just falls off so hard later on because his role is extremely unclear. Like, instead of giving him this skill, I feel like he could have benefited from a stigma or a curse or something, because no one is gonna build their Velter like in terms of offensive power, you know. You're not going to go like Fatal Rage on Velter, it just doesn't make sense. But obviously if you do go Fatal Rage on Velter, the output damage is going to be way higher and more consistent than going 2 vital runes. That's just how it works. Same goes for Cecilia. Cecilia has this skill as well, so which is why I'm a little bit pissed. But of course, once Cecilia's rework, all the things that I'm about to mention is going to like pretty much get fixed. She has this skill, additional damage to the enemy, max HP times 15% additional damage, right? So this skill can crit, but you can't build a Cecilia with like a Fatal and Rage. You just can't. So it's unfortunate that they have this on tanks, when I think that this is a very good skill to have on basically warriors actually. But the only warriors that have something similar to this is Angelica, right? Angelica's skill, max HP times percentage, and which is why Angelica can equip Fatal and Rage rune, and which is why she was very famous and popular back then. But then, alright, let's go back to the topic on hand. We're gonna talk about Jayden. I have no idea how did I just like change the topic completely. But Jayden, what is he all about? 15%, 20%, 20% with healing, and there's this crit rate as well. So why none of the 5 stars have the Titan Strike, but they have this skill as well, something like increased crit on their own, so you don't have to rely on Fatal or Rage runes. Alright, so this skill, this is cool. 3% crit rate every turn. 4%, that is insane. 4%, he might actually deal insane damage if you buff him enough. I don't know, based on what I'm seeing, let's have a look. 25% crit rate as well. 75% crit damage. If you have something like a Fatal, I would go Fatal and Rage, but that would minimize your HP as well. You want him to be tanky. So I'm guessing Fatal and Assault could work. I'm not sure. Fatal and Rage or Fatal and Assault. I mean, not Fatal Assault, Fatal Vital, because of this skill right here. Max HP, the more HP he has, so the more he's able to deal. But ideally he doesn't really need Fatal, I think, because of this skill. 4%, is that enough though? 4% every turn. If he is to start first, it might be enough. Once his turn reaches turn 2, he will approach the 90 to 100% range crit rate for sure. So going Rage rune maybe makes sense. Maybe you can go for 1 Vital and 1 Rage. For Jayden, he looks cool. He looks like a really fun mage to play around with. I'm definitely going to build one. I think a Vital and Rage would make the most sense. If you have a Vital Rage dual rune, that's where the rune belong to. This guy right here. Alright guys, so that's my analysis on these 3 new units, the 3 stars. Let me know what you guys think. As always, if you haven't already subscribed, give this video a like, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a nice day. Goodbye.